We have the head coach of the South African senior men's national team, Coach Hugo Broos. On his left is Mr. Tabang Matuludi, and on his right it is Mr. Mali Koza. We will start with the coach giving us his opening remarks, and then after that you can ask your questions, and then at the tail end of it we'll have questions for the two players. Over to you, Coach.
Okay, welcome. First of all, some news about the selection. So we had to replace Rele Mofokeng because of the injury he got on Saturday, and we replaced him by Shabalala. Secondly, there are still two players who didn't arrive because they played yesterday. That was Foster and Sitole. So they will arrive tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon we will be complete to do the training. I don't have to tell you that maybe the next games are historical. Everybody knows that it's 24 years ago that South Africa could qualify for World Cup. So our situation is a little bit changed because of the deduction of 3 points, but that's the only change. Even with 3 points ahead, we had to win our two last games to be mathematically sure to be qualified. So that is not a change for us. And certainly look at the next games. There are 4 teams involved. It's impossible that 4 teams can win their 2 matches. This is impossible. So therefore the game of Friday is maybe the most important. If we can win that game, we have 17 points. Nigeria, if they win their 2 games, they can only have 17 points. Same thing for Rwanda. But if they win their 2 games, Benin cannot win the 2 games because they play against Nigeria and Rwanda. And therefore, the game of Friday is so important for us to win it. There are no doubts. There have never been doubts from my side. And I will try to transfer that to the group tomorrow at the meeting we have, like always. I believe in that group, and I'm sure that on Friday they will do everything to win that game. And why should we doubt if we see the performances in the past 8 games for the qualifiers? I think if there is a team who deserves to go to the World Cup, it's South Africa. We should have won also against Lesotho without Tebogo, because we won against Benin without Tebogo 4 days later. So that means that normally we should have 17 points now. If you see that performance we had in the last 2 years, because it's already 2 years when the first game took place, I think there is only one team who deserves to go there. We did what we have to do. Even that we did something that we don't, or that we are not allowed to do, but the 17 points would always be there. And for that reason, there was never a doubt from my side, even when they deducted the 3 points. So they can be sure that on Friday there will be a team on the pitch who will do everything to win that game. And we don't expect something from our opponents. And I saw that the coach of Zimbabwe already said that we don't have to expect something from their side. We never expect something from Zimbabwe. They're always very motivated to play against us. So we are ready for that. And we will try to win that game on Friday. And again, then we will see what happens on the other pitches. But again, this is a very important game to win.
Thank you, Coach. So we'll now open the floor for the questions. Please let us know from which publication or media house you are coming from so the coach knows who is asking the questions. Will you take us? Oh, you guys are satisfied.
That was clear. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Coach. Good afternoon, colleagues. Thembinkosi here from Teta FM. Coach, I just want to ask about two players that are really doing so well. It's Rele, it's Thembinkosi, Lorch. Are they part of your plans?
Who?
Rele and Thembinkosi, Lorch.
Yeah. Look, I will not answer any more those questions, not because I don't want it, but every selection you can mention some players who are not there. And I don't like to give every time an explanation why they are not there. You know that I make choices, I have to make choices, because we have many good players now. I can make 2 teams even, and maybe 3 teams. So I have to make choices. And I'm very sorry, but I'm not going to explain you every time why is not Grobler there, why is, what's the other one there. No, this is the selection, and that's it.
Shabalala, Joseph from Sports. Coach, I'm looking at the squad that you've selected. You've gone with the players that have been there, done that, 90% of the squad. What are you banking on, looking at getting the results? I mean, you're playing Zimbabwe here at home. You're playing your games actually here at home, both of them. How much of that do you rely on the players that you've selected, and just give us your assurance that they have given you in your engagement with them?
You know, if you talk about players who are back, then I think you think at Colisso, you think at Sitole. I think. You know, those players are always been very important for the team. And it was a pity that we couldn't select Sitole for a year because of his injury. And it was also a pity that we couldn't select Colisso in September already because there was a problem with his club. So those players are back, and I think it's also very important for the team. So every game is different. So we can't say yes, but you see, last year when we played against Zimbabwe 3-1, we played good and blah, blah, blah. Friday it's a totally different game again. And I think we will play against a very motivated team who will try to take us some points. But at the other side, I think we will have a strong team also on the pitch next Friday. And let's see what happens. But I'm very happy with the guys who are back.
Good afternoon, Coach. Nick Leeson for Backpage Media. Was Shabalala the obvious replacement for Rele, and what qualities of his impress you most?
What?
What qualities does he have that impress you the most?
What qualities he has, I think, if you see the games of Chiefs, I think that Zuduzi is someone, he has an action, he knows where to run when there is a space. For me, his best position is behind the striker. So if we use him, it will be on that position.
Just on the personnel that you have, I mean, on your left you've got Matuludi here. He's been injured and out of the game for some time. What is it that you've been monitoring on him that you had to even wait for him to come back and give a beautiful performance that he gave? At what stage did you still decide to keep your focus on him, and what does he have to offer to the nation?
You talk about who?
Matuludi.
But, you know, when I call 23 players, I count on everyone, and I always say, several times I said already to the group that okay, those guys who start the game are important, but those on the bench are even more important. So what I will do with this one or what I will do with this one, I count on the 23 players, and also already in the past, the players who started on the bench sometimes decided the game. And I think on Morena. Morena decided the game against Zimbabwe last year. And this is also the power and the strength of this group. Also those guys who are on the bench, if you need them, they are ready to be there, and they are ready to help us. So again, Matuludi or whatever, everyone is for me, or I will everyone just at the same way. But yeah, I have to make choices, and who will play next Friday, you will see at 6 o'clock.
Coach, how do you manage the sort of the danger in inverted commas of not being disparate against Zimbabwe? Just being careful and negotiating successfully how we're going to get 3 points. Also, that issue of trying to score as many as we can for the goal difference.
I said already, there's the games against Zimbabwe are always very difficult, and it's always a team that's very motivated to play against us. Third, they have some good players in the team. 4 years ago we played against Zimbabwe, but if you compare with Zimbabwe today, it's a big difference. All players who plays, much of them plays overseas. So that means that the quality is there. And we had a little problem in the first game last year, certainly in the beginning of the game. So I will expect not the same problems, but I will expect a very good, motivated team on Friday. It's up to us to achieve our best level, to beat them. And there are some possibilities to beat them, but there are also some things we have to take care of. So if we can manage that, we have a big chance to win.
Coach, it's Bafana from Shabalala. If you don't mind answering, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the progress of the under-20s at the World Cup.
Yeah.
How well they've done there.
Yeah.
And does it sort of excite you, to see those players doing well with AFCON coming and the World Cup coming next year?
I said already after they won AFCON that is a team we have to take an eye on, and they're doing very well now again after their victory. What was it, yesterday? So they do it very well again. They passed the group stages. I think for the future it's very important, but I don't think we have to count on those guys already for AFCON in December. This is much too soon. Let them now make a good World Cup, and then we will see later on which players eventually we can use for us, and if that is possible. But we are starting already a few months with putting young players and younger players in our team. Look, the two guys who are next to me here. They are not old ones. They are the young players who came and play and have good performances in their club. So yeah, this is also the same thing for the -20, and I think it's a very great experience for those guys to play after AFCON, now to play the World Cup, and not have to go home after the group stages already. So yeah, it's very good, and for the future of Bafana Bafana, it's certainly something that we can be happy of.
Final question for the coach. All right.